Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, and we are up in here, Mordor, and let's continue on this raiding quest line now. So Ramuros, let's get in our monk form. He's level 58. Syrcus Tower. Ramuros is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. Well, he needs to slow on down. Quit be trying to rush us through this tower over here. Uh-oh, disappointment is real. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You're doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The sons continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Syrcus Tower, the legions called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shall avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouting such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends. We share the self-same goal. I am Uriel, and my companion is called Daga. We are scholars of the Garlean civilization, sent by students of Badasan to assist in your endeavor. Oh, really? Andil and Daga, rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the student's behest, but we have received no word of your coming. I am sure you not take it amiss if we seem somewhat doubtful. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. Something sounds amiss. What is it, Jara? 'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. What? The same? You have an Garlean eye as well? This sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Garleanians, yet I inherited it from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound by fate to Alag. As your eye has placed you upon the path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It does sound absurd. Seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet, know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of FFXIV when I am able. I trust there will be no objections. Very well. As of this moment, I name Eorzea and Daga advisory members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Syrcus Tower entrance. I promise you, you'll not have cause to regret your decision. I like your armor sets, though. Looking nice. Tickman, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garlean. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Tickman, with Onya and Daga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for settling events in motion. I'm hopeful that we will finally see progress. Alright, we've begun. My monk's wearing all types of mismatch armor. If you look, he's got some... There you go, it's better to see it this way. Green, purple, melee, gaskins, augmented stuff. He is just matched. So what are we doing? Speak with Biggs at the 8 sentinels to be taken to Syrcus Tower. Alright, so let's get through this door. Crystal Gate, let me through. To the 8 sentinels. Here we are. Can I fly in here? Cannot fly. Cannot fly, but I can ride. I always want to fly in here. And we are here. We're examining the rubble in the hopes that it'll yield a clue to entering Syrcus Tower. Can you tell we're getting desperate? I cannot tell. I shouldn't have destroyed it, is what I say. Well, if it isn't Tickman, eager to enter Syrcus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I am sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather, no going, for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to it. Oh, the entrance to the Crystal Tower. That is a pretty door. They gonna blow that up too? They probably are. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Yanel and Daga. They are scholars of ancient Alag, sent here by our friends of FFXIV to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. It is our hopes that we can be of some small assistance. Oh, look at their eyes. Red. Bloodshot. If your attire is aught to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Syrcus Tower. the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door. The imposing gates you see here. The problem is, we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. I knew he was going to try and destroy it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ash like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it, a man and a woman, respectant elegant royalty, by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. Man and woman. Right there. They're going to open it right now. Go for it. Go for it. Go, go, go. If you're thinking to force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the casualties on my hands. Or calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? What are they doing? That's what I'm talking about. Don't break the door. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. What? Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood, answer war. Exactly as passed down through legend. I am delighted to see. So they're royalty. Shut the gates! Shut the gates! Beg pardon for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you're still alive? Is that his brother? Garlean. If I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all interest and purposes defunct, and my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlean. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you're doubtlessly already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient allies' might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. Huh. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggested nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is your name of your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment is past. They're evil. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wished to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the 8 Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Why can't we just tell it here? Very well. Is the door going to shut behind them? They're just going to leave it open? 7 hells. Do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garlean. You know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? Oh, what you giving them? An Allegan tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the FFXIV 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. Alright, so we are back here. Let's see what everybody has to say. Hey, Nero. We might not have gotten off on the best of starts, but the past is in the past. Yesterday's enemies can yet be today's friends. Do you not agree, Warrior of Light? Which, to think the lions could make copies of people. If this knowledge were to fall into the wrong hands, the world will become a terrible place. I shudder to imagine a dozen bigs shouting at me all day long. Go. The Chief and Nero go all the way back to the Magic Academy. It's an exclusive school situated in the capital, reserved for the Empire's brightest elite. I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but they didn't get along back then, and they don't get along now. Fate's bastard for bringing them together again. Alright, Sid, what you got? It goes without saying that Neo can't be trusted. We'll do well to keep an eye on him at all times. Roger that. Tia, let us hear what you and Doggo have to say. It will not be too late to decide upon a course of action afterwards. You have every right to mistrust us, but I beg of you to hear us out. Long have we waited for this opportunity to fulfill our life's purpose. Alright, Doggo, let's hear it. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rambros, may wish to be present. Come on, Rambros, get over here. All right, group's all here. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. It kind of was, if you come up here on false pretenses. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by students of Baldeza. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through alien technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it that you now seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we revisit alien history. Pray bear with us. The Garlean Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as a symbol of alien pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the night limitless energy is produced, brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the alien civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its one gleaming cities fell into despair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore our lag to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the Garlean Empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none were more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father, you cannot mean Emperor Xandel. None other. As part of his experiment, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are the products of that experiment, copies of Yonel and Doggo. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Elegian emperors named Exained. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and customers alike, or commoners, to think that the two were in fact one and the same. Aye. Exained returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. And true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegin domain. an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Exan turned his sights toward a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Uh-oh, he's over there listening. Darkness. Again? Seven hells. What is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. I'm not sure what she was meaning there. Alas, Emperor Exande is very much alive. Within Syrcus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Oh, that's pretty. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Daimon was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energies and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence. The calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbra era. Oh, the fourth. That's way back there. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Legend Empire was laid to waste. Yet, even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologist Amon, now Emperor Exande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Uh-oh. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Daimon was summoned back to the earth. Its descent triggered the seventh Umbra calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower emerged. So the moon brought up the Crystal Tower. Oh. At the moment, Emperor Exande's awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Oh, he's sitting at the top of the tower. "'Tis for no other purpose but to put an end to Exande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Yone and Daga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission, should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action, concluding that we alone could not overcome Exande. We struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. You as our champions, Tikmanpoku, We are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Okay. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my charging aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Battlesong, among a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So, what will we do, Tickman? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. Yes, I am. It's all that. Alright, you have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us something accidentally clicked. It has been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Legion civilization. But what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends, Yoni and Dogga, living, breathing elegance. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts toward sealing off Cyrus' tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Well, if you wouldn't have blown up the entrance, we wouldn't have had to deal with this. Great. Tickman, as you did for us within the labyrinth of the ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Exand himself. Very well. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Cyrus Tower from the outside world. To work then. Yeah! Woo! Yee! I like the green. Yes, I do. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye, is it like yours? Does this mean? You inherited the trait from your father, you said. You know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegian Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your blood, in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Oh, his red eye matches their red eyes. But they've got 2 red eyes. He's only got 1, so he's only half royal. Alright, so who's left over here? Let's talk to Urnell again. The other names do not appear to have survived the passage of time. Dogga and Urna were worthy individuals. They were not without faults, but they placed the welfare of people above all else. When Exene was resurrected, they supported his second ascension to the throne, in hopes that the Empire would flourish once more under his leadership. When it came to the light of Xande was consorting with dark powers, they did all within their power to stop him. Among their many acts, they imbued us 2 humble clones with their will. With Syrcus Tower, you will encounter clones who shape our appearance. Though they too were created in the image of Dogma and Urna, they are but empty husks, bereft of independent will. Their sole purpose is to eliminate intruders. Striking down, splitting images of Eorzea and myself may give you pause, but you must not let that stay your hand. Ooh, very well. My apologies if I have given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is a time for action, not idle thoughts. Syrcus Tower awaits us. So we're going to be fighting clones of them in there, huh? Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Exande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. I hope that crystal grants me strength. Look at all that power it's got. Duty Finder has been updated with a new duty. Syrcus Tower. Okay. Let's see. We already read this. So that's his is probably the same. Yep. What about you? What you got to say? The truth of my eye is ever on my mind. But right now, every man of us has a job to do. Rest assured, I shan't allow myself to be distracted. Good, good. So next, we need to do the Duty Finder. Syrcus Tower. And that's the one we need to join. Let's go uncheck this. Level 50. Alright, let's join it up. Let's go back in here. Now let's read about it. Having secured a path through the labyrinth of the ancients, the Fellowship of Noah finds itself before the entrance of the Crystal Tower proper. With the aid of their new comrades, Yuna and Daga, the companions succeed in opening the gate, whose workings have baffled even the brightest minds among them. Upon learning of that dark forces have awakened within, the Fellowship decides to suspend its investigative effort in favor of sealing off the tower. You must fight your way to the apex and defeat the resurrected Emperor Exande, that Eorzea might be free of his all-consuming ambition. So it's 1 to 8 players. Time limit 120 minutes. Syrcus Tower. 3 parties with at least 1 member each necessary when undersized party requirements is in effect. Class Disposal of War Magic. Same as usual. Limited jobs can participate only when using a performed or undersized party, and the duty allows it. Level 50. Level will be synced upon entry. Average item level 70. Additional rules available. Alliance registration. All of my level restrictions are lifted for 24 members. Alliance. Oh. So role and item level restrictions are lifted for 24. Nice. So the last raid we did, average item level was 50. Today it's 70. So if we look at our item level, I don't think anything is below 70, except for our crystal. But I don't think that's calculated. Alright, it says it's going to be about 17 minutes, so we wait.